Hi there, Sandra here from Createinspain. Today I'm going to be doing a very simple method of doing a lever card. Now the design I do may not be something that you want to do. I will give you the design for the teddy bear with the balloons that I drew, but you can do whatever little thing you like, whether it's flying unicorns, whales, dolphins, fish, dragons, birds, whatever. I have my lever design here and I know it looks a little bit weird, but I designed this to work well. So that's what it is. I have a card front panel, I've got my lever and I've got my design. Now my intention is to have it pivot from this point here and to have a little bit of this strip above the edge of the card at the moment so that I can put my teddy bear on, and he'll come up when this is turned. He'll come right up to the top of the card. Now if you want your design to be actually in the center, you can move it over a bit if you want to, and I would say if you're going to do that, mark where you want to put it and then just trim off the excess. It's pretty simple to do if you want to do it, but I'm happy with it being just there. So this time I'm going to use some double-sided tape. So I need to decide where this has to go. Obviously I want some of my wheel to stick out and I want that to be right about there. And so I would suggest that you actually mark it with a pencil. I've got a sharp implement here which I'm going to use to do my mark. Now if I turn this around, I know full well that that's going to go inside my card, so I was quite happy to do that. If you don't understand exactly where your image is going to show up, or whether it's going to be too big for your card, whether it needs to go up the other way or whatever, what I suggest you do is do your design in something like Silhouette Studio, because Silhouette Studio allows you to move the pivot point of a shape. Shortcut Slot doesn't. So if you look at this, where that is the whole lever, normally the pivot point in Shortcut Slot would be somewhere around there, I'm guessing, in the middle of it. But that's not where you want the pivot point to be. You want the pivot point to be there. Now, in reality, when you've got it cut out, it makes no difference at all. But if you're looking at it on screen, you can literally put this in place on the screen, turn it so that it does what you want it to do, check that it's where it's supposed to be, and then you can actually mark your file. If you're happy to do it manually, fine, but if you're not, that's one way of doing it. There's probably some iPad apps that have the same feature. I'm pretty sure one of them has got it, I just don't know which one it is. But that is how to do it. But if you are using Silhouette Studio and you don't have a Silhouette machine, you will need to export to SVG, which means you will need the business edition. I got my mark somewhere, yeah, I can just about see where it is. And I've got a piece of foam, the same pointed tool, and I'm just going to put a hole through like so. Now I have some very small brads. This isn't actually going to show, so it doesn't make any difference what colour my brad is, no one's going to know. And I don't like bright green, so I will use a bright green one. And just put the brad through there and through the hole we've just made. Open out the legs, and then we have our pop-up. Now if I leave it like that, it can go all the way around there, which obviously I don't want it to do. What you do is you take a little bit of foam tape and you put it to one side. Now if you're going to put thicker foam tape on it, then you need to make sure the layer number is the same for this piece as well. So you put it by the side of your card there, making sure that you can still turn this around. And then you want to put another piece to stop it from going further down. So now when this is rotated, it can only go up so far, it can only go down so far. So the next thing to do is to build up your edges with some sticky foam, so the same depth as you have this. Alright, so now we take our other piece and we match it up, and there is our birthday bear coming up. Now that I've got the mechanics of my card done and I've put it onto a card base, I want to do the front. Now, normally if I'd been thinking about this as a design rather than as a mechanics, I would have done the front first, then done the mechanics, and then just put the front on. Because I wasn't planning on actually completing the card to start with, I didn't bother, but I thought I would complete it just to show you what it can or might look like. So I've chosen to cut out some wording, just want to say, and then of course when this pops up it's going to say happy birthday. So I cut it out from this card, which is a nice smooth glitter card, so it's quite colourful, but because it is pale I want to make what is around it darker. And what I've decided to do is just go in with a marker, and I've used the cutout as a stencil, and so basically I can go around those lines and I'm effectively putting in a kind of orange shadow. To stick your letters back in, just put your stencil over the top, put the glue on the back of your letters and pop them in place. So here's the finished card. I admit the shadow behind it is decidedly messy. I did it in a hurry. I did not make a very tidy job of it. I had to go over it with a different colour because the orange looked ghastly. I should have done it in black, now done with it, or a dark grey. And there we go. Up pops our teddy bear wishing a happy birthday. So just want to say happy birthday. Now you could do whatever design you feel like on the front. I've just gone for something very, very simple, and I will probably just put some sparkly bits on it just to jazz it up a little bit. But that is the method for making the lever for the card. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Take care now.